Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. There we go. Yes, you guys can hear me. So, of course, I need to open up another screen just to make sure that I'm seeing what you're seeing. Oh yeah, happy Tuesday to you guys. Ha 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 ha. Okay, that looks good. All right, and as per usual, let me give a warm greeting to. There's a new member. Wow. Um, Gabby Fabule, thank you so much for joining Royal Sussex. Fangbule. Yes, I think I got that right. Yeah. So thank you very much. And remember, memberships to Royal Sussex is still a bargain at just $4.99. That's right, $4.99 as seen on television. And if you order today, you will get Royal Sussex for just $4.99. Now, you ask, what comes with that membership? Not much. How much? Not much. How much? Not much. That's how they say it in church. How long? Not long. How long? Not long. So, how much? Not much. Can I get an amen? Hallelujah. Okay, so I'm going to start soon. How soon? Not soon. How soon? Not soon. Um, oh man. Okay, let's see here. Who was here first today? Dale Beeve. Yes, thank you so much for being the first one here at Royal Sussex. Remember, there are no prizes. Um, but you get what they call street cred. You get major street cred for getting here first. Okay, so let's see. Shirley Kearney, hello. Berta Sanchez, Miss P Talks, yes. How about Karen is here? Elaine Parker, Brenda Phillips. Hi, Brenda Phillips. Let me see. Annie Bennett, Shirley Kearney. I said yes, I did. Um, and who else is here? Kay Costello, Olivia Harris, Dorothy Ross. Uh, okay. Quinn E. Yes, welcome. And Lydia Washington. Hey, Lydia. Hey. Let me see. I ain't about to start. Let me take a sip of coffee. Rosanna Smith, Brenda Lee. Okay. H Night. I'm going to take a quick scroll just to make sure that I haven't missed any super chats. Hello, Mystic Toxin, Kitson Door, Mad World. Let me see here. Evelyn Kubo. Yes, welcome. Angela One Love. All right. Oh, well, hugs to you too, Dorothy Ross. Thank you so much for being here. All right, so I don't think I missed any super chats. Very good. All right, very, very cool. So let me get back here. Um, yes, there it is. So, yes, he's a bit of a two-face, and I think two-face is being too kind. As a matter of fact, for the people that speak with forked tongue, as they used to say in the old Western movies, this guy right here seems to have multiple personality disorder. But the truth is, he really cannot hide or conceal his disdain for humanity, or really just for people of color, and in particular, women. Actually, he seemed to have gone after Nicola Sturgeon for I don't know what reason, but he seems to have it in for her because he seemed to be on the list of unfavored or non favorable women. So, yeah, but he says he's not a misogynist. Is that what he said? And that have you know what apology? Ugh. Yes, and Sean, he's a sick old man too. I think he's sick. He has so much hate and hostility in his heart. It's almost like a lazy yawn. It's almost without effort that hate seems to be like bubbling up inside of him. They say he has a fortune worth about 55 million pounds, but you know what? That money goes fast. It would be enough for a lifetime, but for some people, especially depending on how you set up, it goes fast. Uh, so I'm sure he'd rather be making money than not, or just, hemorrhaging money and don't have anything else coming in. But anyway, let's forget about him for the time being. Prince Harry's book is just a good literature. In Spare, his blockbuster memoir, Prince Harry recounts that during a 2015 interview shortly after his brother's second child was born, a journalist told him that his what is that got what single life is it got about, yeah, I guess that's what it is. Single life had caused some to liken him to Bridget Jones. Harry was perplexed by the comparison, but in the context of Spare, is it an apt one? I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's been a while since Bridget Jones, so I'm not sure. At its best, the prince's memoir reads like one of those popular late 1990 novels about British singletons blundering their way out of um, what is that solipsistic immaturity into self-awareness and true love. If not quite Bridget Jones' Diary, certainly High Fidelity or About a Boy. Well, either way, I'm just going to say this. It is a good read. And most people who are not biased, like the British media, tend to say that it's a good read. And it does have like a coming of life and falling in love kind of storyline. So if that in any way mimics Bridget Jones, then so be it. But it is a good read, and it you are really endeared to Harry in this book. For those of you who may not have actually, oh, look who just finished the book. I think Mo Shannon, Jeremy Clarkson is a drip. Mo Shannon, I think, has just finished the book. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, Mo. Connie Balmer. Welcome, Connie Balmer. Connie Balmer is here. Yeah, so, and of course, one of the best ways to know how great this book is, check it out. It is Miss Seeley tested and approved. Miss Seeley, one minute was standing up there looking at the mailbox. Anything come for me? And next thing you know, she's got her copy of Spare. And even while she's in the church, she's still reading her Spare. So if it's good enough for Miss Seeley, I say it's good enough for anybody. Uh, hey, bonjour, bonsoir. Oh yeah, bonsoir, Charlotte. Welcome to Royal Sussex. Happy to see you here. Do I have it? No, I don't. Oh, I can't believe it. When I really need it the most, then I can't find it. Anyway, thank you, Charlotte, and I'm glad you're here. I'll get you later. Don't worry. I got you. I will get you later. I'll give you a proper greeting. I promise. All right. So, that being said, let's move on here. Now, here we go. Here's some new stats for you guys. Prince Harry Spare storms into the UK official top 50 number one spot, selling 467,183 print copies to become the fastest selling nonfiction book of all time. Transworld Books says the memoir has sold 750,000 copies across all formats. So that is amazing. So that's just for the UK. Those are UK numbers. And that means, of course, that 96% of people who swore up and down they were not going to bother with this book in the least obviously has had a change of heart. Some portion of that 96% of people who were surveyed who said that they wouldn't possibly even dare touch that book. So obviously, the draw to spare is so much stronger than the disdain that has been built up among some of the tabloid readers over the past few years. So don't believe the hype. And then right here, Spare by Prince Harry is the UK's fastest selling memoir since records began. So there's Spare 2023. My autobiography, Alex Ferguson, that was in 2013. That one only so the next uh, closest book in the UK was only 115.5 thousand books. Wow, that doesn't seem right. So nonfiction. So of course that's not including Harry Potter. So wow. Okay. And then Tony Blair in 2010. And let me see. This is My Life. Miss Hinch. And that was in 2020. Oh, there was a David Beckham book. And Promised Land only sold 79,815 copies. That's Barack Obama. And Paul Barrow, the fiendish butler, the one who's still making the rounds for a profit, his book did kind of well too. And Dawn French, you guys may remember her. What is she? The Vicar of Dimbley or something like that? Russell Brand's book. And then Sheila Hancock. All right. So look at that bar at the top. For a nonfiction book, Prince Harry's Spare is a runaway favorite. I mean, nothing comes close to it. Not in the least. It is done, four times better than the closest nonfiction book, from my guesstimate. So, yeah, pretty good. All right. Go, Harry. Go, Harry. It's your biography. Go, Harry. All right. So now I think I am ready to do this properly. Let me do this right. Okay. Are we ready? Bonsoir, Charlotte. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Tuesday to you. Okay, so moving along. Let me take that away and get back over here. Very cool. Now, Jeremy Clarkson fans fear he is being canceled in front of our eyes. ITV has no further commitments to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire after next series as Amazon cancels press call for Clarkson's farm amid Meghan column backlash. Well, he did it to himself, but I think this blaring headline from the fail is designed to really shift the blame to Meghan, because after all, it's only words. And even though those words might excite some fragile minded Looney Tune into doing something awful, that's not the point. I guess you have to have something terrible happen before people think that things like this is a really bad idea. That is the column from um, Jeremy Clarkson and others who seem to have excited a certain amount of people. The thing is, you don't know the state of a random stranger's mental health, and you never know what people may believe to be a call to action. Like, for instance, when the Queen's bedroom was broken into, her bedchamber was entered by someone who didn't actually mean her harm, but he scared her something terrible. And then there were other situations, like, for instance, when someone fired upon the Queen with that blank starter pistol or whatever it was. And that was years ago, and I believe that was at a Troop in the Color event. Those things happen, right? And in both cases, the punishment wasn't terribly severe, and the perpetrators seem to be somewhat in a state. And I'll just leave it at that. So the point is, these things can happen. And so the idea that people are enticing or inciting such rhetoric like that, and that a stranger may take it to the extremes, this is why you have to call them out. Now, even with this, Jeremy Clarkson's fans, I suppose he does have fans, but given his rhetoric, is frightening to think who follows Jeremy Clarkson. Is it some, shaved head EDL member somewhere who is, about a tree short of a hammock, or what? That's the kind of stuff that bothers me. So it's best to call these people out loud loudly, call them out before things go even further. Jeremy Clarkson was also obsessed with Diana, said he liked on cellular level, liked or disliked, and bought an apartment next to Diana's gym. He said he wanted to be intimate with her. Also liked on a cellular. Oh, so is that something that he uses a lot? That whole cellular level thing? That supposed to be like Jeremy Clarkson sexy talk? If so, yuck. Black Queen says, ask those fans if they would have said that about Mumbles Middleton. Disgusting. Exactly. But she's the English Rose, so she's beyond reproach because she's the English Rose. B10 Pow. Hey, B10. Oh, let me see. Okay, that's not for me, right? Compton Caligal says the book sales would be even better if people didn't have to choose between food, heating, and making a living wage. Very good observation, Compton Caligal. Um, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Right now, disposable income for some people may be a bit of a challenge, and I can understand why a lot of people would not consider actually purchasing something like that right now. But definitely, there are people who are sympathetic to the Sussexes and still love the Duke of Sussex, no matter what they say. So I'm pretty sure those people would, under other circumstances, love to have that book. But Compton Caligal, you bring up a very good point, and it's very unfortunate as well. But the economy in the UK, I think they have called it the sick man of Europe. Um, I hate to be so bleak, but I look at some of these reports, and a lot of this has come from the Brexit, and the working class people are the ones that are truly, truly suffering. Someone like a Jeremy Clarkson can just, absorb the cost of things, or maybe even one of those co-conspirators that came up with the Brexit, Nigel Farage, he can just, mutter through it. But for the average working person, this is devastating. And this thing about the NHS and the ambulances and waiting for, medical services for, you know, a day you're still on a gurney and in the hallways of the hospital and you haven't even seen the doctor yet. That is insane. They have to fix that. They just have to. That money that is going for the coronation, in contrast to the NHS crisis, among other things, if I find out that that is like the spark that ignites the Republican movement, I wouldn't be surprised. That is going to look very strange. That people, like 7 million people, are waiting to see a doctor, are on a waiting list to see a doctor. That's the figure I heard. I don't know how exaggerated that is, but that is insane. Thank you, Captain Caligal. Let's see. Leg says, don't know how he is being canceled. Remember, Piss Moron did that land speed record. Yes, he set a land speed record for a mammal on 2 feet when he made that exit from the Good Morning Britain. They cancel themselves. Keep her name out your mouth. Exactly. They cancel themselves. Um, Pierce Morgan canceled himself, and the very bizarre cancellation of Sharon Osbourne. I still don't know what happened with her, but she just kind of panicked. And then, of course, Jeremy Clarkson. Nobody told him, oh, here, you just got to send this to the newspaper. And still, the missing ingredient that no one talks about is the fact, well, at least not the right people. But one of the things that's missing from all this rhetoric is the fact that um, there's an editorial process before these items make it into the newspaper. What happened between clicking the button or pushing the button send and then it's actually printed into a paper? Now, someone or something fell along the way, and they are not being accountable for it. So it's not just Jeremy Clarkson, but whoever that editor is, I forget her name, there was something terribly wrong with that too. So, again, you guys, if you guys want to mention anything about the book, feel free to do so. I completed the book Sunday, and there are no restrictions. So if something kind of jars your memory and it's related to the book, have at it. I think enough of us have finished it where we can speak freely. All I can say is spoiler alert. Okay, so Jeremy Clarkson, Meghan Markle has gone from being a breath of fresh air for royals to the Wicked Witch when Meghan Markle swapped being an actress for being a duchess. She was hailed as a breath of fresh air for the royal family. So why is she being um, pilloried? Says Jeremy Clarkson, and that was no December 28th, 2018. So they were married in May, and by December, was this after that first Oceania tour? Well, not first, but I think this was after the Oceania tour, right? Because let me see, Eugenie got married in the fall, right? I think it was October, November, and then they were off. So yeah, I think this was it. Post Oceania tour. And then up there, one of the squaddies said, you really can't make this up. In 2018, Jeremy Clarkson wrote this article about Meghan. At this rate, it won't be long before she is stripped and forced to walk naked through the streets of York while people with skin disease chant shame. and throw excrement at her. Well, that is a quote from one of the squatties. So remember, if I put it in a red box, that is usually a quote from a squatty, and I chose not to share that person's account. So at this rate, it won't be long before she is stripped and forced to walk naked through the streets of York while people with skin diseases chant shame and throw excrement at her. I can't understand why this is happening. You don't know her. I don't know her. So the point is, Jeremy Clarkson, this is not the first time. I don't know if he has some kind of way of infantilizing the Duchess of Sussex. Maybe he can't accept his attraction that he has for women of color, or I guess the non-Eurocentric woman. I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, he has a strong attraction to the women that he likes to other with his poison pen. I don't know, but it is very strange. I mean, the idea that stripped naked comes up twice. I'm like, ugh, ugh, ugh. Especially after seeing him in a bathing suit. Ugh. Alma Andrews, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you so much for being here. So I am going to take a look at some of your comments. I think I'm going to go to the absolute last and then work my way back. The disrespect of women on that island is unbelievable. Dirty old trailer trash. Let's see here. I just did that one, didn't I? Oh, it's moving. That's what's going on here. So I'm scrolling back the other way. Let me see. Prince Charles flipped the fairy tale story and got rid of the angelic fairy princess to marry the witch. Meghan flipped the fairy tale by saving Prince Harry from the squalid dungeon and took him to the mansion. Avery J, that is a beautiful, well thought observation. I love it. Thank you so much for that. I love that. That's perfect. How apropos. Let's see. Goodies Whole and Hardy. Let me see. Harry and Meghan responses to his nonsensical apology was legendary. They won't play games with their integrity, intelligence. I must say. Yes, I actually have that, and I'll share that in a minute. Okay. Cookies and cream. I'm glad that Amazon canceled his show. However, it needs to be taken off immediately and not next season. Yeah, that is a good point, Cookies and Cream. Even though the show has been canceled, it doesn't mean the show is no longer available. So, Amazon has vast resources. However, nobody likes to accept the loss. So, I don't know what the production cost was, but either way, it should not be allowed that someone like a Jeremy Clarkson would be rewarded by having his image made available, especially in American homes where we're just about sick of him. Do you hear me? Sick! I'm sick of him. So we don't need to have him streaming into our homes. Let's see. Lucy Wynn says, Baron, have you seen the report of Charles willing to? Yes, I saw that. And I tell you, it's so ludicrous. I was going to just do a hard pass on that one. I didn't even make a slide for that one because it's just so. Oh, I mean, I don't mind you saying it. It is out there, and it seems to come from an Australian news source. Why? I'm not sure, but I think I just said enough when I said an Australian news source. I don't know why there's a particular disdain for Meghan in Australia. And it's really too bad too, because I've known some wonderful people from Australia, but then I have to balance it with the Australian media, which really feeds into that narrative that we've heard for so long, is that Australia is so racist. Australia is so racist. And I have to say, the people I've known from Australia, I have not, I mean, literally sleeping under my roof, okay? I have not had that experience. So, but then that's the image that is set out to the world, is that their media, with their twisted, nasty attitudes, are, the face of the country that we see outside. And people are so embarrassed from Britain because of the media. It's got to be embarrassing. You know, I was embarrassed to have to explain to Donald Trump when I was traveling. And I would say, likewise, for someone from Britain, it must be very difficult to have to explain a British media with their vicious attacks upon the Duchess of Sussex. I mean, these things are embarrassing for nations. The United States, with its history of civil rights, that's an embarrassment. These things can be really embarrassing. And even for someone from the United States, obviously, I don't have anything to do with the perpetuation of that. At least I'd like to think so. But then when you meet people, not even traveling, but even if they visit the US, there's so much that needs to be explained. So it's unfortunate that the Rupert Murdoch machine has become the face of um, Britain and Australia, and unfortunately, even the United States with its Fox News. It Fox News has changed the landscape of broadcast television, whether or not we want to believe it. But most of these networks have become increasingly conservative in reaction to Rupert Murdoch. So that's a lot of power, isn't it? That is a lot of power for one wrinkled old tea bag. Did you guys see that picture of Rupert Murdoch taking a swim? It is frightening. Oh my God. What is he, 91, 92? And he's in a bathing suit. Thank God, not Speedos, but a bathing suit. Oh, ugh. Yes, Mo Shannon, break the media monopoly. They really need to. Bear in Australia was very enthusiastic when Harry and Meghan were there. So Australia is one of the places to be really bombarded with hate by Murdoch machinery. Yeah, Myra. I mean, I literally watched the Oceania tour. I every day I was looking for pictures and videos and all of that stuff. I remember when Megan disappeared and went back inside of the cafe and brought, well, actually asked the proprietor, can you give those snacks to the kids outside? I mean, it was just, I remember that reason why she was laughing when she was wearing the blue dress, because they were singing the bee song. So I have very good knowledge of the Oceania tour, and I know Australia was like the it was the very best of Harry and Meghan's royal duties, was the Oceania tour, which all of them were brilliant, but that showed how easy it is to do the work, especially how easy it was for them to do the work. So that's probably why the royal family had that reaction. And even Harry said that he felt nervous because she made it look too easy. But it's the work that she was really born to do. So thank you, Myra. Helene says, one of my best friends lives in Australia and he hates how right wing and embarrassing racist the press is. Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for people who do not conduct their lives in that way. It's got to be very frustrating. Thank you, Helene. Okay, so I'm scrolling back in the other direction. Let's move on here. Okay, so Omid Scobie tweeted yesterday, a spokesperson for Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, has responded to Jeremy Clarkson's Instagram apology posted earlier today and addressed his claims that he emailed the couple in December. That's frightening. On December 25th, 2022, Mr. Clarkson wrote solely to Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. The contents of his correspondence were marked private and confidential. While a new public apology has been issued today by Mr. Clarkson, that remains to be addressed is his long-standing pattern of writing articles that spread hate, rhetoric, dangerous conspiracy theories, and misogyny. Unless each of his other pieces were also written in a hurry, as he stated, it is clear that this is not an isolated incident shared in haste, but rather a series of articles shared in hate. I love that. I love that. Instead of being an incident shared in haste, it was shared in hate. Now, I can't help but think that that response came from the Duchess of Sussex. I think she was very instrumental. Um, Meghan has a way with words. And if you guys recall when she gave Lord Rothermere, Lord Nappyhead, the what for when she won her case, when she ended with it could be you, it could be me, but either way, blah blah blah, it's a daily fail. I mean, that was epic. That was epic. And you just know from the way this was written that it had to have come from the Duchess of Sussex. So bravo to our Duchess for socking it to him. KDV, thank you so much for the super sticker and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Happy Tuesday to you. Thank you so much for being here. Let me see. Jeremy Clarkson. Yes, how could he possibly be 62 years old? Now, I could easily assume that Jeremy Clarkson is Rupert Murdoch, especially when he was going for that swim. I could easily mistake him for Rupert Murdoch. Lex says, anyone else see Baldy lying through his teeth that Kate was a great cook? Baldy and she has said that she can't cook. Why were they at together as one, which combats bullying and racism? Performative. Well, of course, he is trying to deflect from the fact that he lunged across the kitchen, that he became airborne in his desire to hurt his brother or straighten his brother out. I mean, I could just imagine William like becoming completely airborne. His feet has left the floor as he leapt across the room and tried to grab Harry's collar, which, well, he did grab his collar. But I don't know why I just kind of see in my mind's eye a grown adult male flying through the air like one of those flying squirrels going after his brother. That's what I see in my mind's eye. And that is the same person who went to this agency or group or whatever it is with all of those people of color. At least that's the ones he spoke to, so that he could perpetuate this myth that he really, really cares. I know if nothing else, the what are they now? The Prince and Princess of Wales, uh, the couple formerly known as the Cambridges. I know they hate the fact that they actually are required to work. I'm sure that just chaps his behind. Thank you so much, Lex, for the super chat. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Let me see here. There we go. So Byline Times says Britain needs media reform now. Now, you all know that this is something that Harry has been pushing for some time. And I can't help but think that this article was something that was created because of the pushback that Harry has been dishing out to the British tabloid media or just the British media in general. I mean, it's hard to know one from the other. Now, some squatties are saying that they're starting to notice that some news outlets are really pushing back against the royal family. Not that they're really so much taking the Sussex's fight up, but just that they seem to be pushing back a little bit, that they're not being as snarky as they have been in the past. I want to say, case in point was The View. That last time that they really um, looked into well, was it the Spare? Was it the Spare? I can't remember what it was, but all I remember is I thought to myself, okay, finally, they've gotten it right this time. It had to do with Jeremy Clarkson. That's what it was. And Joy Behar actually read from the article with the, scene from the um, whatever series, you know what I'm talking about. Well, that one right there, that was brilliant. They actually made a lot of sense that particular day, which is not easy for them because, again, it's that snarky tone, but nobody is worse than NBC. When it comes to the snarkiness, NBC takes the cake. So I think there is improvement, and I think that the American media is really starting to read the room. We're not there yet, but I think we're trending in the right direction. I hope so. Let's see here. The reparations of the so-called media on that island, um, other countries are viewing as bad. Being a journalist, so called, is not a good look. Well, they export a lot of journalists to the United States. Um, and I noticed that sometimes when I see an article that is like very anti Sussex, when I start looking into the person's background, all of a sudden you find out that they moved to the United States from Britain back in such and such and such. Like, case in point, the one reporter that I highlighted that particular day who wrote about the Sussexes maybe 2021. And by the summer of 2022, she needed a kidney transplant. Her dog had died. I had a GoFundMe. It's like all kind of things had gone wrong for her. And of course, I'm not going to say karma. I'm just saying that this was someone who seemed to be a royalist. And I couldn't help but notice what a terrible turn her life had taken since she started writing all of those nasty, poisonous articles about the Sussexes. That's all I'm saying. Not wishing anything bad on her and certainly not laughing at her. I'm not. I'm just pointing out that things started going south for her. All I had to do was just kind of look into her life, and I'm like, it was like from bad to worse. But, nobody's making fun or anything. I'm just saying that that's what happened. Um, I think Schoolhouse Rock said it best: out of the frying pan and into the fire. You tried to cut the sandbags, but the balloon wouldn't go any higher. That's all I'm saying. Nothing shady, nothing bad. But I tell you, when I got to the park, I'm not the park, but when I got to the part where the dog died, I'm like, okay, somebody's having a rough go at it. Maybe they should leave Harry and Meghan alone. Uh, oh man, and then that poor what's his name, with his well, it's hard for me to believe he has a spine, but well, all that back trouble, and then the other one passing out for no good reason, and I mean, all kind of stuff just has been going wrong for them, and all of this is avoidable. Just leave the Sussexes alone, because the squad has been praying for them. Don't be on the wrong side of those prayers. You know what I'm saying? Don't be on the wrong side of those prayers. I hear you. Okay. Let's see here. King Charles still travels with his beloved childhood teddy bear and carries around a custom made toilet seat, royal author claims. Well, that was November of 2022. Let's see. His birthday is what, the 16th of November, something like that. And Prince Andrew would scream and shout if his 72 teddies were not put back properly. So one of the squatties, of course, pointed this out, and I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't make that connection right away. But um, they do seem to have a thing for teddy bears or stuffed animals or whatever it is. And that is kind of strange. Now, it was interesting when it was just Charles, but then when you throw in Prince Andrew, and the fact that the parents used to go out to sea on the Britannia for months and didn't seem to care what was going on with their kids. Well, I guess it's all explainable if you think about it. Uh, chuckled. Okay, let me see here. Cookies and Cream says that article doesn't reflect negativity uh, on Meghan whatsoever. It only reinforced that the Sussexes have been saying about the unroyal family and their racist thugs. It truly paints Tampon in a bad light. So let me see, which article was that? This one, right? Right. Okay. Um, and then here it says simple law of attraction. What you put out like a boomerang, it comes back at you. And the more feeling you put behind it, the quicker it does. Thank you, Miss Mac. All right. Let's see here. So I don't know this guy, right? But he seems to be like a motivational speaker as well as a philanthropist and businessman. But I spoke about him the other day, the John R. Dallas Jr. And you notice there he had purchased two copies of Spare. Well, on the right side, you can see I put January 16th, even though it says 41 minutes ago, but just so that you'll know that he did finish the book yesterday. He actually finished the book, so bravo to him. And I think that a lot of people, even in the business world, are going to really take to Spare because of the message of wealth and privilege, and yet there was a lot of pain and suffering because there's a lot of people, like they used to call Gloria Vanderbilt, the poor little rich girl. Even though it seems that they have these, very wealthy, well off lives, it doesn't mean that some of the children that come from those old money families or even new money families do not suffer, um, but it just means that they're in a gilded cage. So I think that a lot of people, a broad spectrum of people, are going to take the spare. Done. I finished spare well within 36 hours of starting it. It was not, let me pull that down so I can see it. It was not written to be liked. Okay. One wouldn't. It is to be respected and valued. Oh, got to pull it down again. Oh, where is it? Is it okay? Is to be respected and valued for its raw humanity and great vulnerability with unexpectedly personal empathy. I am grateful to Prince Harry for sharing his journey to date. There we go. And let me do that again. So, anyway, um, that was pretty cool. And this is his book right here. We Need to Have a Word, John R. Dallas Jr. So, he's an author himself, and he has a book out there. So, just to show you a little bit about him, so you can look him up if you like. Now, right here, Watts Health, MLK Day of Service. This past weekend, the Archwell Foundation joined the Mission Continues Los Angeles Service Platoon for a day of service in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy. The group worked to beautify Watts Health Center with new outdoor seating, flowers, and landscaping, birthed out of the 1965. I'm sorry, let me drink something. That's better. Birth out of the 1965 Watts riots, Watts Healthcare started as a grassroots clinic in 1967 and has grown into a comprehensive center that provides an array of essential care to the community, including a same-day appointment clinic, preventive care, pediatrics rather, and behavioral health, and more. So there you have it again. The Sussexes have been busy. I love that. Anyway, that is on the Archwell page. So if you would like to go and check it out there, you can actually see that was listed on the Archwell page yesterday. Gosh, I sound terrible, don't I? It was raining all day yesterday. And while I don't have a sore throat, it is kind of, I almost sound like Bonnie Raitt, don't I? Let's give them something to talk about. Yes, I got that Bonnie Raitt going on. Prince William net approval rating among Gen Zs has crashed 40 points in the wake of what? What? Where did you see that? I heard that, but then I didn't see any like numbers to go with it. So there was a 40-point crash. Good for him. Hey, Lauren Brown, thank you so much for being here. I didn't know that. I didn't know it was 40 points. I just heard somewhere that his numbers were like sinking. Like the Bismarck is at the bottom of the Atlantic. Teddy bear comfort hugs, no mother to love. Humans need love, so they get it from stuffed animals. Sad. Or they could befriend, okay, I don't want to say his name and lose my monetization, but they befriend someone who mysteriously died in a jail in Manhattan, right? That's one way to get some love, is to mysteriously, or should I say, to friend someone like that. And then, of course, at some point, you find out that all that glitters is not gold. And well, I guess it doesn't cost the person that much to find that type of affection, because he's still living the life of Riley, isn't he? Helene says, I never laughed as hard as I did this afternoon when I read that Wills and Kate's uh, copy the Sussex's style is because they are poking fun at them. I saw that actually. I was going to talk about that. Let me see here. Not yet, though. Now, I don't know what happened to this article. So, one of the squatties posted this. Experts claim Harry knows too much for King Charles to put up a public fight. But then when I tried to find the article, it wasn't there, right? Now, here's a hint. You can, search the headline to find the article. I tried that. I could not find it. So what happened to it? Now that is a mystery. Why did this one disappear? This is why you really, really, when you feel that like, oh, there's my chapstick. I think I need to put the what do you call that? The humidifier on. Give me a second. I'm going to do that before I lose my voice. Okay. So I got the humidifier on. Before I lose my voice, I had better do that because it is very cool and dry. We have gone from super damp to the point where my back was, oh, my neck and shoulders. I had to put the heating pad on last night. And now my it's just like super dry. So anyway, thank you, Helene, for your comment. Lex says it is the loss of affection. Oh, I did that one already. I need to keep moving. Oh, Lex says no way Anne has bears. She would she would crumple their hats like she did her husband, right? Poor guy walking around with all his hats crumpled up, like she just balled them up and stuck them in her purse. I had to show additional support for him after the misstep of the first book in Spanish. I purchased it. Oh, you know, Deborah, did you buy that from Amazon? Because I almost did the Spanish version, or should I say, tried the Spanish version for my Audibles because it was like right there. And I don't know why, but it was like right there. And I'm glad I caught myself. And I also nearly ordered the Spanish version as a gift to someone. So, yeah, if you guys are going online, you have to be careful. Make sure you get the proper language because easy mistake to make. Okay, let's see here. Hi, squatties. Good midnight, Baron. I'm proudly a Sussex squatty. So, did I tell you that two UK youngsters this afternoon? So I tell the two UK youngsters this afternoon. They seem to eventually agree that yes, Harry should talk. Yes, Harry needs to sing like Aretha Franklin. He really does. He should sing like Aretha Franklin if he feels as though, I mean, Aretha sang when she felt misunderstood for different reasons. So why shouldn't Harry? Popular fashion house associated. Oh yeah, that was gross. That was gross. I know which one you're talking about. That was gross. Uh, what? Exhausted in bed? How is everyone? Hey, Ann, I'm doing well, thank you. I just had to turn on the humidifier. As you can see, I'm starting to sound like Isabel Sanford. George, George, the Willises will be here any minute. Or I sound a little bit like Church Nellie when she started going through the change. George, the Willises will be here any minute. George, hi Helen, Lionel. Oh man, I'm telling you, Church Nellie is like one hot flash away from a raging inferno. Okay, so here it says Charles reveals to friends he wants to shy away from a bitter battle with Harry. The king knows better than anyone the Duke of Sussex has barely scratched the surface about his marriage to Diana and that he has reason to fear his son, writes Tom Bauer. Um, I talked about that yesterday, actually. Why Charles should fear Harry. It is implied. It's nobody. Why even mention that? It is implied. When Harry said, I actually had 800. When Harry said I had 800 pages and we had to chop it down to 400, well, duh, that means one ought to be fearful. Not to mention that there are other books that have already been contracted. But the thing is, I, you know, I believe that there are some back channel negotiations going on. I really, really do believe that. They would be stupid not to. And whatever it is Harry is not talking about, whatever it is he's not mentioning or has not mentioned, then it's enough for them to know, in spite of all of that, oh, they're afraid to say something because Harry might put it in the next book. I don't think they should be afraid of what he put in the next book because of a conversation that happens today. They should be afraid that he might put in the next book things that may have happened 10 or 20 years ago. So that's what one ought to be afraid of. I wouldn't worry about I wouldn't worry about a future conversation if I was them, especially some of the more recent things that he could write about. There is someone who is very skilled with a pen that happens to have bared witness to some of these things, meaning, of course, the Duchess of Sussex, who aptly pointed out in the cut, oh, my what did she say? My journal was just where I left it at Frogmore. Interesting, isn't it? Isn't it interesting? Now, as I was mentioning Isabel Sanford, let me remind you of another TV mom from back in the day. This is supposed to be, they tell me that this um, well, well, anyway, I call her Head and Shoulders because she ain't got no neck. This monument called Head and Shoulders is supposed to be Sarah Vine. Yes, Sarah Vine. That I don't know where that was taken, but a squatty is sure that that is Sarah Vine, also known as Head and Shoulders. Hoppo, who this woman? And so when I saw that, she kind of, I don't know, she kind of reminded me of, if I say Esther Rose, I know I'm wrong for that, but she does kind of remind me of Esther Rose. Do you remember when she was in that kitchen? Damn, damn, damn. That's what it kind of reminds me of. She's kind of got that Esther Rose going on. Damn, damn, damn. Oh man. I don't know why when I look at Sarah Vine, I just want to take like a little plastic ring and throw it over her head to see how many I can stack up. But yeah, she just seems like something that like some ring toss game just stood up and started walking. But when I saw that picture, I'm just like, is she gonna smash a punch bowl? I thought for sure. I thought for sure she was gonna smash a punch bowl. Um, But yeah, so that's my new nickname for her is Head and Shoulders because she ain't got no neck. And you all be wondering sometimes, Baron, why do you seem like you're up all night? I don't know. I start seeing stuff and then I'm just like, ooh, what if I could edit that? So anyway, I'm gonna leave that one alone. Are the royal family poking fun at Harry and Meghan from using their affectionate nicknames to dressing in matching outfits? Uh, Female reveals how the firm appear to be subtly dismissing and brushing off the Duke and Duchess claims. Well, I don't know. I mean, I Kate's had that coat for a while, so it's not a new coat. I tell you what though, Kate is not going to um record herself with a bare face and a towel wrapped around her head and be able to I guess be very proud of having done so. So yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to see her with like a ponytail or less theatrical makeup for a day or two, like the person that she's trying to mimic. I'd like to see her pull that one off. But other than that, yeah, I mean they probably are doing that. The bad thing though is that they're pulling the children into it. That's where it really stinks, is that they're pulling children into it. They are teaching pettiness to children at a very young age. And trust me, the kids do know the difference. There's no way that those two are being very subtle or doing anything by halves. They probably have even told them that that's what we're doing. Now, the Embrace, the new memorial in Boston Commons honoring the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, legacies that is, and Coretta Scott King, will be unveiled this Friday. Before the celebration, we reflect on the process and partnership that have made this historic project possible. So, I was just saying the other day that here comes another one of those loose, distant relations to capitalize on people's anger. Well, Seneca Scott, I think that's his name, Seneca Scott, or is Seneca a place? I guess, what is his name? I don't know what it. Anyway, his last name is Scott. I don't know if it's Seneca or not, but his last name is Scott. And no, I think that is his name for what is that? Darlin Mayer. Oh well. So yeah, I guess his name is Seneca Scott. He's not even Martin Luther King's cousin by birth. He is actually Coretta Scott King's cousin. So the King family had nothing to say about that sculpture. Obviously, they okayed it, the embrace. But in order to clout chase, this guy decides that he is going to put them on blast. And I believe he said that the sculpture looks like a Todger, that word that Harry was using. He even said that, which I think if the family signed off on it, I think it's rather offensive to, say that it looks like a privacy or that to publicly rant about how much you hate it. Scott, whose grandfather's brother was Coretta Scott King's father, said he only met King once at a family reunion prior to his death in 2006. Met which King? Martin Luther King's father? Well, he certainly didn't meet Martin Luther King. I don't think he's old enough. I mean, it's an abstract, or I guess you can call it abstract. It's an interpretive piece of art. And the only reason why he's speaking out is because it looks like he's running for public office. I don't see any other reason why that's a thing. He reminds me of Uncle Scar. You guys remember Uncle Scar? That's Mandela's grandson, whose last name isn't actually Mandela, but he styles himself as Mandela for what? So that he can capitalize or ride the coattails of his very famous grandfather. And I don't think he's the only person in the family that's done that. Other people have done that. Uh, I, can't you do something on your own? Let's see. B10 says, I ordered the Spanish version, but I am gifting it to my hairdresser. Very cool. Now, did you do it on purpose or you got it and now you found a use for it? But yeah, but either way, I mean, that's really cool. And thank God it's available in Spanish. Well, I guess we already know that considering that it was leaked in Spain. But yeah, very cool, B10. So Uncle Scar, also known as Mandela's grandson, he's been busy too. So you got Coretta Scott King's nephew or cousin or something riding Martin Luther King's coattails. And of course, the Daily Fail found him and showcased him in maybe 3 or 4 articles now. You got Uncle Scar, who comes out every time something is mentioned about Mandela. As a matter of fact, look at where he's been. Nelson Mandela's grandson causes political row in African football. I mean, this guy won't shut up. And then $100,000 in Algeria uh, aid explains Nelson Mandela's grandson's attack on Morocco. Man, you better stop before you come up missing. You better stop before you come up missing. Look at him, fists waving in the air. I'm a Mandela, damn it. I'm a Mandela. Listen to me. I'm a Mandela. Man, Uncle Scar, if I was you, I'm telling you, you better shut up. Because these people ain't playing with you. You ain't got your grandfather's clout. Now, speaking of clout chasing and speaking of changing their name to suit their purposes, we all know that that's what Sammy did. Scamantha was Grant, but she was born Markle, but she changed it back to Markle because she realized that there was profits to be made. So, not unusual. A lot of families do that, but all you have to do is have any type of loose relations, and next thing you know, um, you'll be adding to your streaming services. You could well afford it. I mean, after all, you're a Markle or a Mandela or a Scott, not even a King, a Scott. And then, of course, here's another clout chaser. It has been mentioned that Gary Goldsmith loves to tell people that his niece is the future queen consort. You know, in between scraping white powdery substances off the countertop or getting into a row with his girlfriend or partner or pissing in public. In between those things, every other person he meets finds out that he's related to Kate Middleton. And they know that because he will almost hold you in place to make sure he can tell it to you himself. And this was pretty cool. This is actually the Dutch Army, I think. Good conversation started with really seeing someone. The yellow bench that has been on the Van Ghent, is it Ghent? Van Ghent barracks since this morning symbolizes the an accessible place to have such conversations talking to someone and listening to someone can sometimes make a big difference. So that, of course, is translated from Dutch. And well, anyway, when I saw the yellow bench, immediately I thought about the Invictus game. So I'm not sure if that is directly related to Invictus. They didn't mention it, but I can't help but think it is because they use those at the um, at the Hague. So uh, let's see here. Arkelian Arega, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you ever so much for watching Royal Sussex. And happy Tuesday to you. Thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate it. And one of my favorite people in all of creation, Miss Dolly Parton, has a line of Duncan Hine baking products such as banana bread, cornbread, coconut cake, or something. Anyway, I just saw this today. I saw like a video where she was advertising her Duncan Hines baking products, and I thought, land sakes, I like that. As a matter of fact, I do follow her sister, Stella, on the Twitter. But yeah, so she's one of my favorite people. Love me some Miss Dolly Parton. And I am going to have to try one of those products. All right. And happy birthday, Michelle Obama. Today is Michelle Obama's birthday. And well, anyway, I don't know what she's doing to celebrate, but happy birthday, Michelle Obama. And let me show you like a few of my favorite photos of Michelle, the most powerful man in the world, President of the United States, has had his bow ties, I guess, moved or adjusted by the First Lady. She's picked lint off of his um, stubble. And then, of course, my favorite humiliation was when she said, "Come here, look like you got something in your nose." And on each of these occasions, the most powerful man in the world, President of the United States, was waiting for a foreign dignitary or head of state. And Michelle Obama's like, "Hold still." You gotta love that. You could be whatever you want, but you're still Barack to me. So those are some of my favorites. I have saved like what, three of those. And then of course my other favorites are those days that he she spent time with Prince Harry. So, and with that, you guys, guess what? I am done. Just an hour and a half, and you guys, it's not even an hour and a half, it's an hour and 20 minutes. See there? See what I do for you guys? Now you can get back to running your business. So if you have any last comments, oh, Helene, this is helpful. Yes, Yellow Bank was placed, okay, bench was placed through the city of The Hague during the games. It was places so people could have conversations with each other, and it was used excessively during the game. Very cool, Helene. You know, I just had a hunch. I didn't know that for sure. I didn't know that 100. I just kind of thought it had something to do with the games. So thank you for verifying that before somebody else was like, they didn't do that. That's not why they already had those. Well, anyway, you have saved me from humiliation. So thank you so much because I would have believed them because I didn't know for sure, but I was just guessing. Oh, you like that, Lauren Brown? That's like one of my favorite photos too. I love that. Yep, that is like one of my favorites. She looks hot. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I am going to um turn up this oh, you like that too? The little come here. What? Come here. What? You got something in your nose. But look at his face here. Look at his face when she's pulling on those little chin hairs. I mean, that's he reminds me of that's what little kids do. That's what a little boy would do when his mom is embarrassing him. He starts making that face. And let me see, one, two, he's done it all three times. All three times. And I'm sure there's some other ones out there that I just haven't seen. But they're waiting there at the North Portico of the White House, waiting for a foreign head of state. And all of a sudden, Michelle Obama just starts yanking on his tie, plucking his chin hairs, or picking whatever's like maybe nose hairs or something. Who knows? But you got to love her for it. It is an act of humility that I think is adorable. Marshall says, Baron, it's been an hour and 20 minutes. So now can you use 10 minutes to tell us about your food truck video? You know what? I should go and take a look to see if you guys actually watched it since yesterday. Let me take a look and see because I I made a big fuss about it yesterday, and I just want to know if you guys are following directions properly, or did you just ignore the food truck video for 2 years running now? Let me see. Food truck. Because that food truck video was quite. Oh, I see a 7,000.7.1K views. So I'm gonna go here to the newest comments and let me see. 20 hours ago, Rodney Jackson, so proud to support the Sussexes. Lydia Washington commented 20 hours ago. Disney Girl, thank you. All right. Uh, Lydia commented 10 months ago. Okay, so three new comments. That means let's multiply that, maybe about 30 new views. But all right, thank you. I appreciate it. I can live with those. Um, Still not a stellar performance, but we take what we can get around here. Let me go to the analytics and check that out. I'm looking for the graph to see exactly how much traffic. Okay, okay. Oh, you gotta love this. The last 60 minutes, one person watched it, and in the last 7 days, 47 people have watched that video. And I can see here January 15th, that was the 47 views. Okay, okay, so 47 people actually watched the food truck video after I made a big fuss about it yesterday. So thank you, all 47 of you that watched it. Maybe some of you watched it twice. I don't know. But thank you. But I put a lot of work into that video. So it's quite emotional for me to realize that only 7,000 views for that bespoke, hand tailored video. Bespoke. And by the way, bespoke is my last big word of the day. Um, oh, and let me see. I think let me see. I think Duchess of Success is on. I think let me see. Let me see. What? Don't nobody help me. Oh yeah, so she'll be on in a minute at least. Wait, eight. Oh no, that's tomorrow. She'll be on. Never mind. She'll be on tomorrow. It says 18th. Oh, never mind. Oh, is that why she said she was tired? She wasn't gonna come on today. Uh. Oh, Trenchtown man. Sure, sure. Trenchtown Man, who is likely to make an appearance at the coronation, I'm sure. I'm so sure Trenchtown Man is going to be there.
That's Prince. Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
Yes, Trenchtown Man is going to make an appearance at the coronation. And the other person who is going to be at the coronation, if not this next one, then the one that follows, of course, the air hostess needs to recoup some of the money that she spent putting mediocre Middleton in the role of Princess of Wales. It called in a lot of favors to make that happen. Trust me when I say that. So she is going to have to recoup some of her losses. So I suspect that she is going to be pushing her old airline beverage cart up and down the aisles of Westminster. We'll see. Let me see. Lex says, Baron, you should show Baldy dancing since Jamaica. Yeah, okay, let's do that. The Commonwealth Shuffle, that dance that they do when a person loses half the Commonwealth. Thank you so much, B10. Thank you, and thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Oh, there we go. I knew I could do better than that. Okay, and someone mentioned that they were very proud of Prince Harry. I am too. Did you guys want to ask or mention or say anything about the book? I mean, since we're here, and I was hoping to jump off before Anne came on, but since she's not coming on, if you guys have anything to mention about the book, let's have it. I'll be here for a little while. Let me see. Did I want to share anything about the book? Well, I did mention the other day again that I had some suspicions about the Queen. And do you guys recall when he said that the Queen answered the phone and she acted like she couldn't talk, or he had asked her something and she didn't say anything? But was that official, Lauren Brown? Forgot to say it, but happy birthday, Michelle Obama. Yes, today is Michelle's birthday. Thank you for that. Let me see. What Jeremy Clarkson is 1.5 years older than me. It just goes to show hate will eat you alive, right? That hate will eat you up. As a matter of fact, look at what is done to the consort. I mean, she is so consumed with hate. Look at what it's done to her. And then it's already nibbling away the next generation. So, yeah, there's something to be said about that. That hate will consume you. Thank you for that, Shelly L, and thank you for being here, of course. Okay. Lauren Brown. Oh, that's for someone else. Let me see here. Rohini. Oh, that's not Rohini. That's for Rohini. Okay. Um, but yeah, so that's what I was thinking was that um as Harry said, I wanted to make sure that she was getting the proper care. And there are some people who suspect, I'm going to tell you what stood out for me is when Harry went to Balmoral and he was greeted by his aunt, who was probably somewhere in one of the bathrooms picking out her fro. And she put down her hair pick and greeted him at the door, right? And he said, "Well, where's uh, Pa and Willie?" Oh, they went to whatever hall that was. They left the house. They left the house. You would think that both the heirs, or in this case, the king and the heir, would want to supervise things well into the night, right? They left to go plot and scheme or God knows what. I thought that was extraordinary. I thought it was extraordinary that Charles was not with his mother before she took a turn for the worse. I will always wonder why he wasn't there. If I'm changing everything here thousands of miles away because I saw two photos of the Queen greeting the Prime Minister, then why wouldn't someone, a blood relative, her own son, be more alarmed and just stay there at the house with her? But instead, it was good time Charlie. He was setting up for a television interview. That is puzzling to me. And then after she passed, he leaves back out again. So riddle me that. Right church, wrong pew. Thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you so much for being here on Royal Sussex. But yeah, that just kind of that was bizarre to me. I mean, I've lost loved ones and we've always done like the bedside vigil and everything like that when we know that things are near. But um let me see here. Baron, you could read my comment about Michelle from before. It is relevant to Miss. Oh, really? From before? From before? Oh, okay. She really does. She downplayed it while in the White House to be relatable to the less physically gifted. Uh, Remember when she got uh, oh got remember they got mad about her arms? Yeah, it was like, and through the power of suggestion, um, a friend of mine even said, and why is she always showing her arms? This thing about the arm thing was not something that she pushed. That is a construct that comes directly from the media. She loved to show her fit, healthy arms because, that is something that a person does. You don't have these attributes not to share them, just like Meghan with her off the shoulders. Now, of course, people who despise and hate Meghan will say, and she's always showing her shoulders. What kind of woman would do that? And then you start showing receipts like the Queen with her shoulders out. And then it's like, oh, well, that's the Queen, So, yeah, but thank you for that. Let me see here. I'm scrolling back in the other way. Let me see. Charles and Camilla had a meeting with Jenna Bush Hager. He got that phone call just before the meeting started. Right. And so immediately, okay, so Jenna Bush Hager said all of a sudden they heard there's somebody running down the hallway. The door opens. Sir, you have a very important phone call, whatever the person says, right? And so Charles drops everything and he goes to a helicopter, which takes him to Balmoral. Well, Camilla did not go with him. Camilla actually stayed until she was fed, and then they took her out into the garden so that she could, walk around. After she was fed and walked, then they put her in a car and took her to Balmoral, after feeding her and taking her out for a walk. Um, whatever do I mean? But anyway, so what was so important about that interview that Charles would not be at Balmoral after the whole world gasped at the sight of the Queen with her badly bruised hands, her very, very slender appearance? I mean, she was so drawn up and everything and still smiling. And the other thing that let me know that that situation was getting very close to the end is the fact that there were two still photos and no video. Why would you not have a video? What are you hiding from us that you don't have a video? Baron, I was more concerned on Camilla's whereabouts when the Queen passed. I said years ago, never leave the Queen alone with that awful woman. She would snuff her out. Well, fortunately, Camilla had a good alibi, but I understand what you're saying, though. I totally get that. So yeah, I just thought that was very strange. I mean, your mother is gravely ill. We can see that on television, and you are setting up for a camera crew. That just didn't make sense to me. I mean, I know that family is very frigid, even on the hottest days, but it's like your mom is going to the big Balmoral Castle in the sky, and you're about to do an interview with Jenna Hager Bush. Seriously? From sunny San Francisco today, we're getting the opportunity to dry out. Oh, yeah, you guys have been inundated with so much rain. Sorry to hear that. Let me see. But California needs the rain, though, but not all at once, right? So, yeah, that was, yes, Michelle Obama is comfortable in her own skin. And I'm glad she's wearing the braids now. I really like that, and it works for her. Okay. Oh, okay. There's a number, huh? Thank you for that, cookies and cream. Doris Hetherington says, "You are awesome, Baron. Laughter is good for the soul, especially when you are an orator." Thank you so much, Doris. I appreciate that. I do love a good laugh. I really do. Let me see. Meaningful life coaching. Good afternoon. All is. Oh, let me do that. There we go. It's not that puzzling. People don't like to hear this, but in my opinion, I believe King Charles is likely was like die already. He was ready to get on with being king. Well, you know what? Meaningful life. Um, there was a rumor that every so often the queen's phone would ring, and if she didn't answer it, and one of the courtiers answered the phone, they would hear like this, shrieking voice on the other end. Boo! Or sometimes they would hear like one of those little air horns. Hello. So somebody was trying to do something. That's all I'm saying is somebody was trying to do something. So poor Granny is sitting there in her saloon minding her own business, and all of a sudden the phone rings, and Her Majesty, don't think anything of it. Hello. So I'm not trying to say anybody was trying to scare her into the next realm, but it is a possibility. There is a possibility that someone was up to something nefarious, if I should say so myself. Hello. Who, who, who is this? You scared me. Boo. What they didn't realize is that Her Majesty's hearing wasn't what it used to be. So that air horn or people yelling boo into the phone didn't have the effect that they thought it would. So that didn't do it. So who knows what finally happened. But anyway, she had a good long life. And Harry had a chance to see her in the fall, was it? Was it in the summer? So I'm glad for that. For his sake. That's his grandma. Philip, 1992 is a year that I shan't look back upon with undiluted pleasure. It was a horrible anus. What if Prince Harry is listening right now, though? What if Prince Harry is literally listening to me? Ah. Yes, the audio is awesome. The feeling in his voice as he narrated the audible version was spot on. I agree, B10. I loved it. I loved it. I really did. Um, Harry, in his own voice, telling his story, it's like you're on a long road trip with a good friend. That's all I can say. It's like you're on a long road trip with a good friend and you just run out of things to talk about. And then he just says, "Oh, yeah, about that. Did I ever tell you about that time when I was born a prince of the realm?" And then it just goes on, it just flows. Oh, very cool, Angela. You're going to Germany. Oh, very good. Ich bin ein Dusseldorf. Let's see here. Oh, that's not for me. Let me see. Oh, wow. Okay. Let me see. I agree they should have for sure. Sometimes we look at people and don't see them as they really are. And had insight to be their official Lauren Brown. Yes, I'm curious why, with things being so close, that he wasn't there. That is puzzling to me. Uh, yes, Cynthia Thorpe. I mentioned that channel and another channel about a week ago. So yeah, we're all. But thank you for mentioning it. Let me see here. Oh, thank you. That's the best description. A long road trip. Thank you. That be amazing? Like, um, for whatever reason, you can't get a flight, and you meet this nice couple, um, Has and M, and they say, "Ah, well, we're going to California too. Do you mind if we ride along?" And all of a sudden, Harry just starts telling you about that time when he was born a prince. Oh man, that would be epic. Let me see here, Baron. You're doing a great job standing with the truth. I live in Britain, and these people have treated Harry so badly, all because of Meghan. Some bloggers are milking it, and the press are the worst. Is that Shy's reality? Um, I, it's shocking for me, only because when I and I've said this a few times already, but I'm in my 50s. I remember when Diana got married. I was up early that morning. I even have the wedding on a VHS tape, okay? I recorded it on VHS. I don't know if it still works, but I have the original recording from that day. I believe it was Peter Jennings and Barbara Walters that covered it. Uh, Nancy Reagan, I think, was the uh, only one from the White House to go. There was a big thing about whether or not her Secret Service would be allowed to carry firearms because of the British law. That was one of the talking points that day. So I've been there. And if you could have ever told me anywhere along the line, from the day she was married to the day she died, that one of her children would be so vilified by his own country, I wouldn't have believed it. I would not have believed it. It is so surreal that this is happening, like it's a dream. And for Harry, for all that he's been through, to be treated like this. And as I said, I don't care what they have accused Meghan of. These people are the help. They are the help. You don't put the help before your brother. You don't put the help before your sister in law. They are the help. They don't matter. They're not family. At the end of the day, blood is supposed to be thicker than water. So why are you sticking up for the help? Are you sleeping with some of them? Well, what's going on? Why are you sticking up for the help? They're the help. And if they get an email at 5 in the morning, so what? You guys see me post stuff at 5 a.m. I'm always rambling around at 5 a.m. and go to bed and wake up around noon. Big deal. But they're the help. So you don't put them before your brother. That's insane. But William, full of pride and self-importance and overindulgence, if you ask me, decides that he's going to go storming over to Nottingham Cottage to straighten out his brother about a thing or two, because he didn't like the way that Meghan spoke to the help. And really, he didn't like the way that Harry spoke to the help. Do you know one of the things that bothered people is that suddenly the royals, the principals, at least two of them, Meghan and Harry, were actually spending more time with their team, which was embarrassing to William because he and Katie Doolittle spend very little time with their team. They're handed instructions and they are told where they're going to show up. and they just show up and give a little smile and a wave. Whereas the Sussexes were more proactive. Harry, of course, because he had gone to war and knows the value of planning a situation, and the Duchess of Sussex because she has lived her life writing letters and dealing with the meticulous details that has made her loved and appreciated by many people that she's encountered. But for the Cambridges, it proved embarrassing. And if it's embarrassing, then she must be out of line and she must be dealt with because what's happening with the staff, with the help, is more important than my brother and his wife, my sister in law. That's what it really boils down to, if you ask me, is that he took the side of the help instead of his own family. There's no other way to look at it. Whether something happened or not happened, I don't care about that. You don't take the side of the help. Let me see here. Fu says, how can we be so sure that the British royals are a tight family, not when their offices plot against each other for good press? And wasn't one of the people in Meghan's office, wasn't one of those people like using Meghan's name to get freebies? And that person probably turned against her? Huh. Let me see here. Baron, do you think that William and Charles are afraid of Harry because of all the horrible things that they have done to him throughout his life? Yeah, and they should be. They should be because he seems to have the ability to tell his truth without any regards as to whether or not it is going to embarrass his family. Although he said himself that there's certain things he won't mention because it will be embarrassing and painful, and they would probably never speak again. So if he's holding back something like that, and I have no reason not to believe him, since he is very, very honest and forthcoming, then I would say they should be afraid. Angela says, uh, Dine, oh, wait, Dean, Dausha, Accent, Ishgarnish, Schlesh? Yeah. Now, Angela, you could see why when I was in Germany on a couple of occasions, I was there, and people would often say to me, Dummkopf, sitzen bleiben. So I'm assuming Dummkopf is a term of endearment for foreign travelers who seem to have overstepped the mark. Is that correct? Dummkopf, sitzen bleiben. Oh man. Okay, Marshall says is telling that Camilla may get crowned queen consort. If not Diana, it should have been Conga. What is that, Conga? Deeply cracked face, evil one against them, but it won't against Harry and Meghan. What is that? Conga. Conga. What does that mean, Conga? Let me see here. Yeah, his crime was marrying a black woman. It's a shame, and Baldy's hating on his brother because he's jealous, and Chuck's plainly afraid. In his bedroom in his boxer shorts, doing handstands and God knows what else. Let's see here, Baron. Harry can bloody well do without that blood. William is a boy in a man's pants. Yeah, he is a child, very childish. And to think that he thought Harry was supposed to walk in his shadow for the rest of his life, that wasn't a good fit. That was not a good fit. Oh, it was hay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I missed that then. Okay, let me see. What? Greta Thunberg arrested as German police crack down on coal mine protests. Oh, little Greta got arrested. All right, Greta. Greta got some street creds now. They didn't booked and printed Greta I got to get this right. Thunberg. Yeah, little Greta then got arrested. I wonder if there's any photos with that. I want to see her getting. Oh, they picked her up. Oh my god, and she's looking directly at the camera. That is too funny, you guys. You got to see this. They literally scooped her up. Greta got busted, y'all. Greta got busted. I can't believe this. Have I just stepped into the looking glass? Greta Thunberg has been busted? I don't believe this. You can't. And she just smiling. Y'all, they done busted Greta. Okay, respect. Come on, Greta. Come on. Okay, that's not for me, is it? Little Greta got busted, y'all. I can't believe it. I wonder if they're gonna push her little head down when she go to get in the back of the squad car. Well, what kind of world is this we live in when little Greta gets arrested? Yep. 5-0 rolled up on Greta. I wonder if they're going to give her a little metal cup so she can go clinging across the bars of her cell. I want to see a picture of Greta getting booked. What if Greta gets a mug shot? Oh my God. Could you imagine little Greta getting a mug shot? I'm having too much fun with this. Y'all, that girl is trying to make the world a better place. Oh man. Little Greta getting shook down and booked and printed and stuff. And then she gonna have a little mug shot. I thought I was seeing things. Greta got arrested. Who arrests Greta? That's like arresting Mother Teresa. You just don't do that. Hey, Big Mama. Big Mama, 5-0 and snatched up Greta. Greta got busted. Yep. What if on the way to the police station, all of a sudden her little feet start kicking them in the back of their head and the squad car roll over and she jump out and make a run for it? Now that would be fun. I just seen too many movies. What if Greta started kicking the back of their head until the squad car roll over and then she come jumping out and make a run for Woo! And she jump out and make a run for it. Now I'm telling you. And then the helicopter chasing her. You know what I'm saying? If there was a helicopter chase, if I see Greta on foot, if I see Greta on foot running in between people's houses, I ain't gonna be no good. If I see little Greta on foot running in between people's houses and stuff and jumping over clotheslines and all that, I ain't gonna be no good. Please don't have a high speed chase with Greta. Uh Big Mama, I was looking at the news and they say that Greta got arrested at some protest and the police literally picked her up and started I mean, it was one on each arm and another one had her little feet wrapped up under her little legs wrapped under his arm as they marched her to the police car. Little Greta got arrested. She got busted. They took her downtown. They took Greta. They took Greta downtown. I hope they don't try to work her over to get her to talk. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. Well, she'll be okay. I'm sure she has a good lawyer. Um I just never thought I would turn on the TV and find out that little Greta got busted. Oh. Bad girl, bad girl. What you gonna do, bad girl? Oh, okay. So let me see here. I think you mean dunkler, which means dark in the context. The dark one, instead of saying Schwartz is black, I guess he's trying to be nice. Dunkler, Seitzen, bleiben. The dark one, stay seated. Oh, okay. Well, then that explains it. That explain it. Oh man. Uh Angela, I don't know if you're from Germany or not, but let me tell you something. I ate so many sausages in Cologne. I literally belched my way out of the city. I belched and belched because I love a good German sausage. I mean, I would get the currywurst and dip that sausage in that currywurst and eat that little roll that they give you. It was so good. I couldn't wait to get up the next day so I can go out and get me another currywurst. That was some good eating there. I ate sausages all over Germany. Let's see here. Valerie Serg. Oh, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. Valerie, did you know Greta got busted? They took her downtown. She's been booked. Oh man, I can't wait to see what the fail is going to make of it because you know they are going to have a big headline with lots of grammatical errors and a lot of misspelling, but it doesn't matter. Just get it out there. That's what they usually do. They don't bother with punctuations and all that kind of stuff. Just get, oh my God, Henry Kissinger is 99. I'm like, God, is he still alive? He sure is. He's 99. Good Lord. Maybe Henry Kissinger will negotiate her release. Let me see here. Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad that I can help. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, yeah, they took the Tate brother cars. I saw that. They had them all loaded up on the trucks and everything. Yeah. Well, you never know. They might maybe they'll give her Greta one for her 21st birthday. Are you gonna print some t-shirts, Tamikia? You gonna print some t-shirts, free Greta? Free Greta Thunberg. Free Greta Thunberg. Ain't that what we do though? We don't even know what the problem is, and we start printing them t-shirts, don't we? I don't know what it is about black people. As soon as something go down, the first thing we do is start printing t-shirts to say free so and so. Yep, it's always, and they did amazing to me how fast bruh man gets to a protest with the right t-shirt as if he printed them on the way there. I mean, stuff don't even go down before they already got a t-shirt for it. I'm surprised it wasn't nobody down at the bus station selling free Prince Harry t-shirts. Free Meghan Markle. I'm telling you, black people can come up with them t-shirts fast. I don't care what's happening. They're going to get them t-shirts out there and people are going to buy them. And all of a sudden, you're going to see people with free Greta Thunberg t-shirts. Oh, man. Oh, well, thank you for being here, Big Mama. Hey, Novi D. Oh, man. Well, I want a free Greta t-shirt. But where are they going to find handcuffs for them little tiny hands? But you know how it is. It's Europe. They got uh, little children size cuffs too. They probably got some for kids too. Let me see. Oh, what's that? The Daily Fail will associate Greta's arrest. Yes, yes. It's all because of Harry's book. It all had to do with the book. Let me see. White supremacy is thicker than blood. Not even God comes before it. He didn't side with the help. He sided with white supremacy. Harry got off code, thus expendable rather. He got off the code, and thus he was expendable. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They was getting over. They was getting over them people that work in those offices. Do you know that before Meghan showed up, most of them people didn't even see the family for days at a time. And just think how many times the Cambridges go out of town. Think about how many times they go out of town. I mean, because they'll jump on a private jet in a minute and they up. They go out of town at a heartbeat. And when they do, they help ain't got nothing to do. They are being paid handsomely to sit around and do nothing. And like some of those people that work there, all they do is grab the bouquets when they go on an outing. That's the extent of their work. They make a few phone calls, they open letters, stick a little money in their pockets. Just like with any celebrity, they get a lot of gifts. And one of those people, and Meghan was even sharing the stuff with those people, and they still turned against her. I mean, it was a few of them that was in her corner, but imagine the awkward position that they were in. You sitting up there minding your business. You think you're doing a good job. You're not bothering anybody. And then all of a sudden, this is in your face. This wants you to explain something. Well, I work for Harry and Meghan. Doesn't matter. I'm the heir. So whatever I say goes. I think that's what the big problem was at KP is that there was division because everybody ultimately had to answer to this man child, and that couldn't have been easy. That could not have been easy. Yeah. And in spite of all of those people that sided with him, they still let him walk out the door. Nobody said to him, "Sir, uh, uh, it's just that one thinks that one may look like a bottle of Mitchum roll-on deodorant. Sir, maybe a black blazer, sports coat, but you can't say anything to him because that's the heir. And so, if the heir decides he wants to walk out the door looking like a bottle of Mitchum, well, who are they to stop him? They can't stop him. I mean, he's ordained by God. You don't stop somebody like that. I'm pretty sure that it was a couple of people saw him walking through the office or whatever before they went to the thing, and they just put their head down or buried their face in the magazine so not to laugh. I mean, how could you hold it in? He knows everything, and he about to walk out the door looking like a big bottle of Mitchum, and you can't say nothing to him, otherwise your job is in jeopardy. So thank you, Palmer Rose, and thank you so much for the super chat. And Marcy Foreman says, I love it here at Royal Sussex. Well, thank you, Marcy Foreman, and thank you so much for being here. Yeah, so it's only so much you could say to the principal, and then you're in trouble. And then, speaking of trouble, they went through all that trouble, and they get there, and there's nobody there but a couple of families in the back. Actually, a family, and then there's a few older people there on the left side. That whole area was empty. That whole area was empty. And that should have been enough of a clue not to go to Boston, but they went to Boston anyway. That was a waste of time and money. And I think they spent, how much did they spend? They gave out, I think they had $12 million. They spent about 7 million on that event, right? And then the 5 million that was supposed to go to the recipients of the prize, that's paid over time. They don't even get that money all at once. That money is paid over time. So yeah. And this is the person who told Harry, how dare you take money out of the Royal Foundation, even if Harry is the one that raised the money. That's another thing from the book that kind of got me was the fact that he wants Harry to beg him for money that he raised that's just sitting there. He wants Harry to get approval for him. Man, you better go sit down somewhere. Let me see here. Message from the Queen: free all of Camilla's mirrors. Camilla, your mirrors are watching you. You know, Camilla had ordered the mirrors covered up. She don't want to have to deal with that. She had those mirrors covered up. She don't want to have to deal. Let me see here. Oh, Anfu says Willy Wonka is the heir who abused the hero. Harry had to come to an end, so now he is incandescent with rage. See that hideous face? Yeah, he's incandescent. I still want to know what he thought was going to happen when he ran over there to that Nottingham cottage and became airborne as he flew across the kitchen to lunge at Harry. I'm glad Meghan was not in that kitchen when William stormed in. Harry could have heard him for real. Yeah, that was the most bizarre thing. That whole incident was very, very strange. Princess Meghan exposed her in-laws' laziness. In 3 years, she had two children. made an award-winning podcast, won numerous awards for her service to humanity, brought decent clothes for women. I'm sorry, not well. I'm thinking of the other thing for a hubby. But yeah, don't forget about the. She's still involved with the. What's those people with the clothes? She's still involved with that, and the women of the Hub Kitchen. She's stayed in contact with them, so she hasn't completely, left those things. And they have the well child, so they still have some connections there. And she's a veteran's wife. She's a veteran's wife. So, yeah, she's done a lot. The Sussexes, and when people call into those shows and they talk about how lazy or Harry isn't doing any work, and I'm just like, you got the wrong one, boo. He's over there and he's not working. Are you serious? That goes to show how out of touch some of those derangers are, that they accuse Harry of being lazy. That's the Cambridges now. The Oh god, I even hate to call them that, but they're the lazy ones. I'm trying to think what else about that book stood out for me. Um, of course, when he was in the army and that magazine gave up his position, that was worrisome. Somebody trying to cut through the gate because when he said that thing about the red fox, I didn't catch on at first. And then when he said, I started to realize that they were talking about me. Oh my God, did I get a feeling in the pit of my stomach? I got such a feeling in the pit of my stomach when he said that he realized that the red fox was him. That was jarring. I was literally sitting there with my eyes wide open, like, just shuddering from the fear. I I don't know. I got so pulled into his narration that I felt like I'm literally sitting there with him, listening to them say that they were looking for the red fox. They even had a code word for it, Operation Red Fox. Let me see. He wanted Harry to attack him. Then he could say that Harry had lost control and he is violent. Yeah, they would have locked him up somewhere. They'd have sent him to the Tower of London. Megan is running circles around baby brains and Sir Peg-a-lot in stilettos. Don't forget backwards, Joseph Burnham. She's running circles backwards. That's how good she is. She can run backwards in stilettos and still outdo them. Terry H says, if Megan was there, do you think? Y'all think Baby Baldy? Baldy wouldn't have would have attacked her. I think so. I think that's why I keep saying, because he didn't know she was gone. He didn't know she was out of town. At least I don't think so. Although somebody from the office did leak the fact she was in New York. Let me see. Instead of offering Prince William a glass of water to cool off, he should have put on a pot of salted hot water and have him have 60 seconds to get out of there. Just wash him down with some hot grits. That'll take care of him. Well, I tell you what, he'd never come back. Has anyone heard of what is being done with Heads Up? That program was left with the Royal Foundation. Now, no, now they are. No, what is that? No, they are not doing anything. Oh, they are not doing anything. Yeah, I don't think they're doing anything with Heads Up. That money may have been funneled into the Earth Flop. May have been funneled into Earth Flop. Or what is that? Shout? They had that Shout where you can text your it was like text counseling or something, where they accidentally released all those people's information to whoever wanted to buy it. Andrew Holness has instructed his government to move ahead with speed in abolishing the country's constitutional monarchy. Good. The sooner the better. And may the rest of the Caribbean follow. Very good. Yes, he did. He cleared up the mess about the tiara. You know what, though? I think they're afraid of Angela Kelly. I believe that Angela Kelly got so much dirt and they act like they're afraid of her. Angela Kelly was fearless. And she wrote that book about the Queen, which violated the NDA, and she didn't seem to care that she wasn't supposed to do that. Isn't that right? Didn't she write a book, Angela Kelly? Now, Angela Kelly got a lot of dirt too. I think that she's not afraid of anyone. Oh, that's not for me. When I got the Red Fox part, I pictured Harry in the window where he first saw that fox. All I know is that scared the heck out of me. I'm just like, Harry, get out of there. Uh, is it time that Jamaica became a republic? Holness said, according to a story published Tuesday in, what is that, the Gleaner, a newspaper in Jamaica. Oh, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, let's see here. I have both the hard copy and audio, finished audio yesterday. Amazing. So glad Harry has told his own story. Better to tell it yourself instead of letting Angela Levin, instead of letting Angela do it. If Princess Meghan had been home, Willie would have put his hands on her because he put his hands on his lazy wife, allegedly, in my opinion. So she wears plaster to cover up her hand, to cover up the hand marks. Yeah, and for us here in the U.S., those bandages, band-aids. Yeah, she's frequently had, I suppose, cuts on her hands or bruises, and she was constantly seen wearing bandages. So that was rather odd. And the press pointed it out, but they wouldn't say anymore. You're getting ready for work tonight? Oh, wow. All right. Chi-Town emergency shelter for Venezuelan migrants and local homeless people. Okay, very cool. And thank you so much for doing that. Leslie, I am very pro immigration. And I have to tell you guys, I know I go on and on about immigrants all the time, but I just read a report that because of the low birth rate in the United States, if you guys think things are expensive now, if they don't get some immigrants here and trained and working in these thousands of positions that are available for employment in the United States economy, we're going to be in big trouble. Most of the Western industrialized world is in trouble, and even some places in Asia, like Japan, who doesn't really care for outsiders. They need labor. I just saw Canada is taking any and all comers to work in Canada. They don't care. They want people. They're not even trying to make sure it's blonde hair and blue eyes. They just need people because otherwise their economy is going to falter. The United States economy is going to falter. And yes, that goes for the UK also. As much as they're trying to keep people out, if there was one thing that Liz Truss told the truth about, And that was when she was trying to reverse these policies of immigration. But as soon as she merely uttered the sentence, they were ready to jump all over her. Um, Need labor. So I don't frown at the idea of immigration. I applaud it because somebody is going to have to listen to me talk about Europe when I go to the nursing home. Okay? And better someone who doesn't have English as a first language than somebody who knows every word I'm saying. And when I'm fussing about the food truck while I'm at the nursing home, wouldn't it be better if somebody who didn't understand every word was listening to me instead of someone who is, confident with the competent rather with the English language where they would understand everything that I said? I think it's for the greater good. So just let them in. As a matter of fact, um, if it's attractive people, so much the better. If they're hot, that's who you let in first, and then the rest of the people. But let the hot ones in first. Okay? Uh like for instance, if if the people you're letting in look like they have competed in Miss Venezuela or even Mr. Venezuela, let them in first and then the rest of the people. Okay? No chubbies. Let me see here. Germany is in the same position. They need foreign workers, but their xenophobia is out of control again. Yeah. Um, if I recall, didn't Germany, just like with the Windrush people, Germany invited the Turks to come and help rebuild the economy. And then once the Turks realized, our kids are born here, we kind of like the school, guess what? We're going to stay. Then all of a sudden, that's when that xenophobia kicked in. So it's the same every place. The only people that they don't frown upon are people from like Ukraine or Russia or, you know, the kind that Trump wants to marry. If you come from Eastern Europe and you sound like Boris and Natasha, then Trump will let you in. But if you don't sound like Boris and Natasha, then Trump wouldn't let you in. So, but yeah, we we need labor. We need attractive workers, no chubbies. We need some attractive workers with a favorable BMI. That's who we need to immigrate to the United States. Now, if I was in charge of the immigration office, the first thing I would do is establish their BMI. And if you too chubby, I'm not letting you in. Let me see. And plus, if I was in charge of immigration, everybody who appeared at the immigration board would have to be prepared to strip down to a pair of Speedos. Then I will decide, and only then, whether or not you can be a United States citizen. So if your BMI is too high, or if you're not willing to at least strip down to a bathing suit, you're not welcome. So that's not superficial, is it? Let me see here. I'll tell you about the food truck. Okay, well, a year ago I made a food truck video that I was quite proud of. It was edited, right? And I thought I had done a great job. It was narrated by myself, but but much to my dismay, when I, woke up that afternoon, I think I stayed up late working on it. I think maybe about 1,500, 2,000 people had watched it. I said, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. And then the next day, maybe only about 3,000 people had watched it. And then, much to my greater shock and dismay, only about 4,000 people had watched it. And it was only because of my constant badgering and complaining that it finally get up to about 7,000 views. Now, you have to understand at that point, I was really shocked because most of my videos at the time were getting like, 17, 18,000 views. But for some reason, they seemed to have it in for the food truck. And I thought it was you know how I make videos. They have that kind of, touching, rather sentimental ending, and Susie Q cries on some of the videos I make sometimes because it always has that very royal Sussex dramatic ending. Well, even though I made that video, with all of the finesse that I'm capable of, nobody watched it. So that's the story behind the food truck video. They were rude, inconsiderate, and did not take into account my feelings when they didn't watch the food truck video. But other than that, I really just don't want to talk about it. You see there? That's why I don't like to talk about it, because then my feelings get hurt all over again. Yes, Mo, the food truck, the food truck. The one that only 47 people watched since last night when I first complained about it again. But that's okay. Yeah, okay. I'll make another food truck video and you guys will rue the day that you didn't watch my food truck. Let me see here. So anyway, that's the sad, sordid tale of the food truck video. So now, anytime I have a video that does not perform as well, I'm like, uh-oh, they didn't food trucked me. Kind of like Watergate food truck. The food truck video. Well, you guys, I think I am gonna cut out of here. Plus, I want to catch up on the news and see if Greta Thunberg has taken any hostages. I want to see if Greta has taken any hostages yet. Uh, yeah, I want to see if she. What was that movie with Sylvester Stallone? First Blood. I want to see if she's like taking all the cops out like in First Blood. I'm surprised the Daily Mail don't have one of their grammatically incorrect and misspelled articles about it. Let me see. Nope, nothing yet. I'm surprised. Oh, let me go to breaking news. Maybe it's there. No Greta yet. So that must be fresh. But I saw the video of them taking her into custody. That sounds weird saying Greta Thunberg was taken into custody. That just sounds weird. Okay. Oh, you're going to watch it? Let me see here. Oh, thank you. Now, remember, it was from a year ago. So if you go to videos and just scroll down, you can't miss it because it has a food truck. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Let me see here. Do you have an email so I can send you details? Would like to take you to lunch since I work night shift. 7 p.m. to 7. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, you can email me. What is my? I have a Royal Sussex email now. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I have one that goes directly to Royal Sussex. Now, I don't always look at it like just now. I just thought about it. But I do have one. But yeah, I like to eat. Let me see here. Excuse me. Okay. There it is. Okay. I will put the email on the I will link it. The email. Huh. Oh. Oh Lord. What have I just done? Okay. Anyway, the email is royalsussexchannel@gmail.com. All lowercase letters. royalsussexchannel@email.com. I'm sorry, at Gmail. What am I saying? Email at gmail.com. There we go. Now, let me see if I got any recent emails. Yeah, I had to get a separate email address because, well, I needed one. My other email, that's my private personal email. And that's where, where the bills and Amazon, that's where all that stuff goes. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. I do have some mail in there. Okay. I'll read that later. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Love you guys. I will see you all next time. I'm going to cue the Ginger Adventure. And so, you do that, why don't you? Remember, Church Nelly, no chubbies. Make sure they ain't chubby. Let me see here. You know the old saying, I got to be the only chubby one in this bed. That's my motto. I got to be the only chubby one in this bed. That's the motto that I live by. I mean, it evens things out. You know what I mean? I need to be the only chubby one in this bed. Free Greta Thunberg. Free Thunberg. Oh, okay. I know what I'm looking for. All right. There you go. Thank you to our queens, Diana and Doria. Thank you so much for the amazing children. Thank you, moderators. Let me see. I believe we will see more members of the Commonwealth taking similar action before the year is over. Yes, I believe that too. It makes for a great coronation gift, right? Like, what did your country get the sovereign for his coronation? Freedom. Freedom. We are free of him. Okay. Yes, cue the Ginger Avenger. Last word of the day is. Okay, there you go. AK Ando says, love you, Baron. Thank you. So proud of the Sussexes. That sounds like a close to me. All right, you guys. Love you. See you guys tomorrow. And free Greta Thunberg. Free Greta Thunberg. Who do we want? Greta. When do we want her? Now. Okay. Oh, there we go. And cue. As a matter of fact, I think anybody who's trying to get into this country, don't let them chubby ones pass the border. Just slender, good looking, with low BMIs. And I promise you, this world will be a better place to live. I'm just kidding, you guys. I want anybody who wants to breathe freedom to come to America and start a new life. And that's the truth. Doesn't matter, chubby or not. Um, oh man. All right, you guys, that was fun. I will let me see. Nana has a low BMI. She will be right over. But yeah, but she has to leave that thing on her head, whatever that thing that moves sometimes, even without wind, it just starts moving like it's breathing. And if have you noticed that sometimes it almost seems like it's looking at you? So whatever that is on sleeping on her head, she has to leave that behind. But if she wants to come, that's fine. But whatever that thing is on her head, she has to leave that behind. Uh oh man. Um I wonder if that thing sleeps on the pillow next to her at night. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of crawls off and takes the next pillow. That would be interesting. Wait, is it house trained? Nana? Okay, okay, you guys. Anyway, I had fun. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Love you guys.